pass, fail, where we talk about movies and we give them rating pass or fail, and then we talk about them more in depth. My name is Nathan Talon.
My name is Max Burke.
I'm Tyler Walker.
Mike Lehman.
Check me out on Facebook.
We got a fat list today. All except one Oscar contenders.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Oscar season, guys.
Let's get to it.
You okay?
Let's
Oh.
grade some movies.
Oh, that's how we do it. Okay.
Call me by your name.
Pass.
Pass. Next.
Pass.
Cool.
I guess mine doesn't matter. Pass.
But yours would have been a fail.
Tanya.
Pass. Right, guys?
Pass.
Pass.
The Hostiles. Pass.
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 Fail.
He hasn't seen it.
I haven't
Shape
seen
of
it.
Water.
Pass.
Pass.
I already
Pass.
gave it a pass when we talked about it the first time.
Have you seen Shape of Water?
No.
Good week.
I
This
want
makes
to.
up for last week with all winning.
This is our first 100% week.
Well,
Good
you
for
know
movies.
what? 100% isn't bad, guys.
Good for. Of course, we
Yeah.
also haven't seen
Not
12
bad.
Strong or Maze Runner 3, which were on the docket. So I feel like that maybe
Yeah.
could have swayed
What
things.
were the other one?
Maze Runner 3.
Is that the one where?
12 Strong.
Okay.
12 strong is when there's 12 strong soldiers and they saved a day America.
Yeah.
wow.
Well, those will be next week.
Uh-huh.
But for this week, go see anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of good
see
movies.
any Oscar-nominated movie.
Right.
Cut.
So now if you don't want any reviews, turn it off because now we're going to spoil the shit out of these.
I can show you around.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Allez, Chiara!
Oh, to see without my eyes.
Is there anything you don't know?
First time that you
If you only knew how little I know about the things that matter.
all the wonders ever sees.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Blessed be the ministry.
Call Me By Your Name, rated R.
So guys, I want to start off strong. Call Me By Your Name. I think it unseated The Post for me for best movie of the year.
I concur.
I want it to win best picture. I think it's amazing in every single facet, and I love it.
I
concur.
think I'm super disappointed that The Post was your favorite movie of the year.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, there wasn't really too much competition so far in what we saw. Except the best movie of the year still to this day, Paddington 2.
It's pretty not the best. So
My ex-boyfriend is in that movie.
My opinion doesn't matter. I just only cares about
It was very good.
My ex-boyfriend.
Can you believe that he doesn't care about
I
my
don't know what they're
opinion?
saying.
Yeah.
now. I feel like we have secrets.
Neither do I. Is this all picking up or is it not
Yeah.
actually?
Call Me By
yeah.
Your Name is
Yeah,
Oh, this
a
will be a
great
fun
movie.
surprise for you.
Timothy Chalamet is going to win Best Actor.
I really hope so.
Then Chalamet in Hostiles too.
In Hostiles, also in Interstellar,
And in
also
Lady Bird,
in Lady Bird.
The other Oscar contender.
Let's talk about Lady Bird.
Let's just talk about Lady Bird.
Also, Stuhlbarg, Michael Stuhlbarg.
Nominated for nothing.
Yeah, but in Call Me By Your Name.
Shape of Water.
In Shape of Water. In what was the third one? Anybody?
Oh,
Can't remember.
A Serious
the
Man.
third one. Was he in A Serious Man?
From 2009.
I do love that movie.
there
That
was
is a good
one
movie.
more
He's the main
movie
character.
that he was in this year.
Not Darkest Hour.
Wait, Michael
Not
Stuhlbarg. Who's that?
Dunkirk.
Stuhlbarg. He was the father. He was Elio's father in Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah, he's in.
And he's in Hostile.
Did you say he's in Lady Bird?
No.
What the fuck is happening?
He's in. What the frick is he in?
I know he was in Shape of Water.
He's in A Serious
Anyway.
Man.
Dude, he's in Shape of Water, and he's in Call Me By Your Name, and he's in Lady Bird,
And he's in.
He's on Lady Bird.
and he's in Mad Max Fury Road.
And Blade
That's
Runner
true.
Still,
2049.
The Post. He's in The Post.
Oh, okay.
Fuck
the
the
second
Post.
best movie of the year.
Oh, why, did you even see it, Max?
No.
Yeah, well, I hate you and your opinions.
Why would I fucking see that movie? Can I swear? I don't know what the
Yeah.
rules
Yeah.
are. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All right,
Tyler's-
let's
Tyler's
get back,
grandma
and then
gets
Let's get back to
mad.
Call Me By Your Name.
want to be demonetized.
Yeah, this is like a movie review thing. So like,
I
what,
honestly, I just want Tyler's grandma to like this.
her name is Sandy.
Sandy.
Call Me
Sandy,
By Your
and she hates
Name.
the F word.
So
She
all
actually
I care
does.
about is how Call Me By Your Name had two of the best performances of the year, and it was a very heartfelt story that I didn't think I would be able to relate to, but in the end, I felt it.
I didn't think I'd be able to relate to it either. very much I related to it. I'm gonna be honest.
I
It
didn't.
was a little gay.
Just a little.
It was a lot gay.
It was very
Whoa, come on, dude.
It was the gayest.
Come
movie
on,
of the
dudes.
year.
It probably is the gayest movie I've ever seen. If I'm being honest, like I don't see a lot of gay movies because people don't make gay movies. Like I'd see
They're
a
coming
lot
out in
of gay
swaths.
movies,
There's
but
that one now where the kid's like he needs
to
a
come
gay
out.
hitch to help him pick up men.
that movie looks like bullshit.
Have you ever seen?
It's called I, Peter, I,
I Simon.
Tanya.
I Simon.
Peter?
Right?
Love Simon.
Love Simon.
Love Simon. Oh, and he does.
Have you seen Milk? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was
but
the
that's
gayest
not
movie
the-
I've ever seen up until.
Call Me
What
by
about
Your Name is
Moonlight?
Call
gay.
Me by Your Name.
Moonlight wasn't even very gay. There's like one implied hand job.
But is there an implied hand job in Milk?
There's an implied blowjob in Milk. So it's like levels, levels, levels.
But,
Call Me by Your Name is
but in
pretty good.
Moonlight, there's no implied man-on-man kiss.
Yeah, there is.
But there
It
is an
happens.
actual
They kiss each
kiss.
other.
Exactly.
There's a kiss
so
at
there's
the
no an implied. So then in Milk, is there an actual male-on-male kiss?
Yeah. A lot of them.
I never saw the movie.
I know. I can tell.
So I think
Or
Call Me
you
by Your
wouldn't be
Name
asking
takes
those
the
questions.
award, guys. Is this award season? It takes
For
the award
gayest
as
movie?
gayest movie.
It was nominated for Gayest Movie of the Year.
And I think it won.
Well, no, I think it might be a contender.
It,
Yeah, that movie was that clown.
the clown.
I think
did
Shape
have
of
some
Water is a
tendencies.
contender too.
No, that's.
We'll
for-
get to that later.
Okay, so what did we just talk about? Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did not identify not only with the gay stuff, but also the just relationships because I don't have relationships still.
Yeah.
I was engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
I was absolutely like feeling every emotion that I think was me that he wanted me to feel during that movie.
Just so everyone knows, Mike is very straight.
I don't know how to respond. I feel
think-
like any step I take after that is going to be the wrong
I
one.
think a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people are
a good
roasting
call.
the short shorts. But
There are a lot of short shorts in this movie.
how does it make me feel that I want some short shorts now?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty hit.
And the dancing scene.
The
Now I wanna
dancing
dance.
scene. Now I want to smoke. Now I want to.
Dancing scene was very. That's when I was like,
Masturbate
okay,
with a
they're
peach?
trying to say this is the 80s.
It's an apricot.
It is the 80s, and it was a great time.
I thought the directing was just fantastic. There, like 20 points in the movie, you kept leaning over, like, I love that. Like, I love this, I love that. Like, it was just really
Yeah,
good.
I
There's
was
some
actually
really good
watching
stuff.
the movie. I wasn't talking to
Yeah,
anyone.
remember Tyler? You wouldn't shut the fuck up. No, I'm just kidding.
I
Sorry.
was the one who
Sorry,
talked-
Grandma Sandy.
There was a couple of choices in the editing that I didn't quite understand, and I still don't, but it didn't distract. Like
The
where
thermal vision.
when they had the sniper scope, the binoculars.
Predator vision was cool.
Right after when he's playing the piano, right, and there was like a little like
And he
a
turns?
turn, yeah, and a cut in between that, and also with the music, it happened when they were riding up to the little water.
There was a lot of that, and I kind of like it because it almost makes you feel like you're some sort of you're like a fly on the wall in this whole thing, and then sometimes it just you're going to the next thing. Like you don't get to control what you're because sometimes it would just go on forever. Like there's that shot where they're just riding on the bikes.
I like that
And it
one.
just
Is that what you got from it? Is like I'm not in control of this?
yeah,
it's
like I'm
taking
just
me
watching.
somewhere?
Yeah,
This is my concept of the musical cues and how they get cut short. I think that the whole movie is about something that's beautiful that gets cut short.
Okay.
And I think that that's almost foreshadowing of the way that the relationship unfolds and how. No, I'm just kidding. And how they like, you have like these beautiful moments, and it's almost like really scenic and picturesque, and it's pretty, and then it just like cuts off, and it almost
Sure.
feels like this like sort of ugly, unsatisfying ending, and that's like the whole movie.
I get that. Yeah.
but then it had one of the most satisfying endings I've seen in a long time.
It's satisfying in that
But
it's
it's-
good.
yeah,
It's not
but
satisfying
satisfying-
in that the conclusion is something you
And
wanted
It's
to
satisfying
see.
if you're straight because win-win for the home team.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
we
you
got
guys.
another one.
Oh, you guys. All
It's
right.
also
Nice.
good because then it just rids one gay from the world.
Oh Jesus!
God.
Yeah, Army Hammer's off the market.
I have fucked so many married men.
As one does.
They are coming out with a sequel, though.
Yep.
Call me by your wife's name.
Perfect. They were looking for a title. But it deals with the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
And then the third one deals with older Leo meeting up with older Oliver.
Are these all books then?
That one I'll watch.
Yeah.
Well, the book,
Wait,
the
the
movie
book-
ends
yeah.
like 50 pages before the book ends. Because the book ends with them meeting up back up when they're like older.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That wouldn't have been fun.
Do
Okay.
either of them have AIDS? Is that a
No, I
thing?
don't think so.
Oh, okay. So AIDS never.
I think
comes
it's just
into it.
like something like that rattled the community, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a big thing to do.
Everybody was like, "Whoa."
Favorite part of the
the thing was like, this thing's pretty serious.
Oh my god.
favorite part of the movie?
The ending,
The straight up ending.
the last shot.
That last shot that goes through the credits. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I think for that, Timothy Chalamet should win the Oscar.
Just
Yeah.
for that scene
honestly,
alone.
and I'm not even. It was so. That has to be weird and really difficult to communicate that many emotions in one just prolonged scene.
Sure.
And he's like crying, but he's also like, you see that he's remembering things and he's smiling about them, but then he
And
realizes
then he even
that
looks
he's
at the
smiling
camera.
about something.
Did you
that
catch that?
happened.
He, like,
Yeah.
looked at the camera
The whole
and then-
thing, it was like, and it was just great. The whole
Also, I
event
just
was
feel
amazing.
like, because it's gonna get down. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, he's nominated, of course. Don't think he's gonna win. I think the only person that has contention really is Gary Oldman, and I'm sure his performance is great. Nick was talking about it, saying it was great, but it's kind of like, it's what you expect. And I feel like in Timothy Chalamet, he had much more of a challenge. Like, everyone loves giving the awards to people playing real people, but when you have to make up a character and perform the physicality of it, because like every time he's like even like touching Armie Hammer or like trying to do anything, he even has like some unsure thing with it where he's like, well, he wants to do it, but at the same time he doesn't. And like he portrays that throughout the whole movie, and eventually
The
he gets
editing
relaxed.
portrays that really well too. Like this is one of the very few movies where I notice editing. I'm like, oh, good edit there.
There's always an argument too that straight people shouldn't be cast as gay characters, but I would actually argue that that could contribute to the discomfort that the gay characters are feeling in their first gay experience because the actors aren't familiar with that kind of experience. Like if I did it, I'd be like, yeah, you know?
Yeah. Are you married?
Make
But-
that exact noise.
Yeah, it would be just like that. And so I think that that's partially just the inexperience and the discomfort with male-male sexual activity if you've never done it before. Because those sex scenes were very intimate. And I kind of trailed off thinking about it. You know, it's like, it's just very, I can't imagine that's comfortable for somebody who's not sexually attracted to men.
I mean, it's a fantastic story. It really is. But I think like there's enough interesting and kind of unique shots to the point where I really think if this doesn't get Best Picture, then something is really wrong because there's a couple of shots where it's like, oh, well done, like, you know, not just okay, like it serves the movie, but like, oh, they went for something there and they got it.
Like that one long take when they're walking around the
I love
war
that when they're going through
monument.
the
Really
city.
good.
I love that. I like it when Elio is on the couch and it's kind of down next to him and you see his whole body laid out on the couch. I thought that one was really good.
The whole movie really.
Just remind everybody, Mike is very straight.
Elio's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
That was
think
part of the movie.
my favorite scene was the first sex scene because I loved how it was shot. Like you point out, like when they walked in the room, the two shadows. Like
That was really-
you don't
yeah.
even see them, so they kind of like hide and go in the room. Like when the door accidentally slams.
Yeah.
And it just
and they're laughing.
It's so beautiful to see them like together.
Yeah.
'Cause you had this whole movie, almost like an hour and a half, just build up to that, and it was just like it was really satisfying. It was really beautiful. It's really well shot.
It was very odd to me how the parents were so accepting of everything because that's just such a drastic like.
That's the one thing that I wanted to touch on for like my overall thoughts with the movie is I'm just glad that it didn't go with all the cliches of the stuff where it's oh, are they gonna get caught? Oh, are they gonna get a disease? Oh, all this stuff and I just kind of liked how it was treated as just a love story, and it was like a first love story. Like that's Elio's first love, and
Very
it just
Italian.
and it
Very
just
Italian love
and it
story.
just doesn't matter
Italian director.
who it is, and it was just like, I don't know. I like that aspect of it because I was like, what is the mom gonna barge in and be like, what are you guys doing, Oliver?
Right.
Get out of my house and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Even
No,
his
they
friends,
just-
even all the friends, like the young teenagers are completely cool
Yeah.
with
It's
everything that's going
Italia.
on.
You pointed out on I think it was Facebook the end scene when like they're at the train station.
No, that's not the end scene.
Oh,
It's
towards
like
the ending.
when Oliver is leaving. I'm gonna point it out again. Don't just summarize it for me. No, I'm just kidding. When Oliver is leaving on the train, that was my favorite scene. because you see their whole experience together and how much they care about each other and how attracted they are to each other. But when they're in public at the train station, they're forced to almost like, it almost looks like you could confuse them for brothers, the way that they're expressing their affection. And because they have to hide it from the public, right? But in the same shot in the background, there's a straight couple and they're just like kissing each other and like, you know, being so completely, almost obnoxiously expressive. And that contrast is really interesting because
I didn't
we've
even notice
seen,
that, yeah.
and the love between the two main characters has been proven, but they can't show it. And then you almost have like, it's almost like a foil for them to express their emotion. It's almost like that couple is doing what they want to do.
Right.
And it's amazing. And it's barely noticeable. And I feel like people, that's another reason I like this movie, because I am gay. And I don't think this movie is for straight people. Like, I see a lot of gay movies for a straight audience, and this is a gay movie for a gay audience, and they have little touches in it that I don't think would be noticeable to people who have never gone through an experience like that.
We were talking about, you elucidated to me, like a lot of gay movies are like written for a heterosexual couple, and then they just slam a man into the woman's role and be like, there's the relationship. Where it doesn't act like it's not as dynamic, or the things will need little tweaks here and there.
And it doesn't really express like the isolation or the, really the like, that, it's hard to describe. It's like finding someone who you actually connect with in those circumstances is so out of the ordinary and so completely unexpected that when it happens, it's very special. And this movie actually is that whole concept wrapped up in like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I think it's like 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I've never seen a movie that actually thought about that concept enough to express it, especially not so perfectly. Like, the only other movie that comes close, in my opinion, is A Single Man, but that's really more about tragedy, and this is more about the tragedy of love. It's weird, but it's very good.
Yeah.
Go see it, gay folks.
Yeah.
America. They want someone to love. But they want someone to hate. And the haters always say, Tanya, tell the truth. There's no such thing as truth. I mean, it's bullshit.
All right, well, let's move on to another one we all saw together, which was I, Tanya.
I, Tanya.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I had a lot of fun. It kind of reminded me the way it was set up, kind of like The Big Short a little bit.
Sure.
I feel like The Big Short is a better movie, but at the same time, I had a lot more. And I can see where like the problems that people have with this movie can come from, because I had a lot of fun with it, even though it's like really bad. Like, someone's life got. It was like a tragedy for someone's life, and then they're making a movie and kind of playing as a comedy. And every time she's on screen, she's kind of like a punchline to the comedy. But at the same time, it was almost like Tanya Harding was like a punchline. For a lot of times, so she decided, I don't know.
It was true to real life, right? Because she kind of became a heel in real life. She kind of became that villain and kind of accepted the role that the society was trying to press upon her, right?
She literally says that into the camera in the movie, though.
Yeah,
She's
it breaks the fourth wall.
I'm your punchline.
Right.
And that's like, I feel like that argument that the movie's kind of making fun of her, that's sort of the point, and they're using that point, or at least they're punctuating that point by showing you exactly what you're doing to this person throughout the entire movie, and the structure of the movie and the jokes in the movie, all of that kind of leads into the idea that like you're making fun of a real person. And so I think that's more the point of the movie than anything else that happens in it.
And they stress that again at the end when they show the real personalities and how strikingly similar they are to the characters that are being played.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I loved everybody, like all the main characters. I loved the mom.
I think
the-
Margot Robbie should win Best Actress. I
Yeah,
don't know.
she was really
Is
good.
nominated,
Over
or-
Frances McDormand.
I didn't see Three Billboards.
Ooh, that's hard.
But I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Because I can't imagine. I mean, I think her performance was so.
Yeah, Margot Robbie was super good.
She was really good.
It was so good. It was another one of those things where she's just staring into the camera, crying. That made me.
Or like the makeup one when she's putting makeup
Yeah, when
on.
she's
Yeah, that
putting
was a
makeup
good
on and she's
scene.
just
Oh,
breaking
I
down.
think-
That was a really good.
I think I
scene.
still go with Frances McDormand.
I think I agree with Tyler too on that one. Still go for
because again, it's her making
Yeah.
up a character.
I think-
like
I don't know. At the same time, I feel like for me it's a coin flip, where it's like,
I'd be happy if she won, but I'd
But you'd also be
want
mad
Frances
about it.
McDormand.
but
The mom though,
yeah, she deserves to win Best
she
Supporting Actress.
she was
Was it
amazing.
Janney? What's her
Allison
name?
Janney.
Allison Janney.
Oh God, she was great.
Yeah, that was. It's the best role I've ever seen her in. That was amazing.
Every scene she was in, she just commanded. Like, just,
If you ever like laugh at something that you feel like you shouldn't be laughing at, and you get a good chuckle out of that, this is like the perfect
Yeah,
movie for you,
it's
because
the
this is
perfect
just
movie.
like straight up comedy, dark humor. You know.
just every scene she was, I just trying to like tape her daughter like confessing like,
Yeah.
about actually expressing feelings.
Probably.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say probably has one of my top 5 shots of the year, when after she lands like the triple axel for the first time, and she like goes like this, and it's like in slow mo, and then all the
Yeah.
cameras are going off in the background, and I forgot what she says like in the voiceover, but it was perfectly matched up with like
She says something like "fuck them"
yeah like
or something. It's
yeah,
just
something
like,
that.
she looks completely elegant, but then the voicing cuts in again. She's like, "Well, fuck them if they don't think I."
Yeah,
do."
it's
It's like
so
stuff
good.
like that, and it worked every time. That was the thing. It's like the joke was basically the same throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie, but they introduced it in different ways every time.
Sure, sure.
And they made it work every time, so it never becomes repetitive, and it's
Yep.
not.
I agree.
Who was the one guy? The guy who kept thinking he was like a secret agent. He was.
Oh, yeah, I
Sean.
don't
He
know-
was
I don't know who
Sean.
is-
He was an
Catcher
interesting
Sean,
fellow.
the bodyguard and the boyfriend / husband, their
Sebastian
relationship.
Stan.
I told Max during the movie, I was like, I could watch a whole movie of this relationship.
Yeah.
Like I love
It
those
reminded
two
me of like
together.
American Movie. Like
A little bit, yeah.
That character though, I've met people like that, so that was just like, oh. People who are like, "Don't worry, I got this under control," but they're just consistently fucking everything up. That was great.
I love
And
that.
there's the juxtaposition of the music. There was one scene where the music just did not fit at all, but it was perfect in the
When
way
they're
that it
walking
didn't
into
fit.
the lawyer's house.
Yeah,
there's
and
like
they come
the
back out
heavy
and the
metal
metal music.
music.
Yeah, it's great, and you can tell it was a choice, and it definitely stood out. But they break the fourth wall in the movie, so it doesn't stand out that much.
Yeah.
But you can definitely. But it's. I mean, I really.
I
noticed
did
it.
wanna
I
say-
love the fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that was like the
And it
whole
wasn't
movie,
even a
though.
fourth wall break. It was like, it was almost in like, I don't know, the same style as Big Short, where Big Short approached it as it's a fake movie about real events, and we're gonna shoot it like it's a documentary.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like
Okay,
how this
yeah.
is where it has the interviews, and you're watching like the interviews, but it's
Right.
the actors performing the interviews that were actually real.
Yeah.
And then they just set like the movies to that. So it's almost like a super expensive reenactment that you would see in like
Yeah.
documentary.
And one cool thing, and I don't know if I've noticed this in many other movies that I've seen, but they do like different versions of the story, same story,
Yep.
right? Like they'll shoot a scene 2 different ways, or they'll take parts of the movie and shoot it from somebody's
Yeah.
perspective and flip over to somebody else's. I really like that. I thought
Yeah,
that set
like
it
when
apart.
the boyfriend was like, yeah, I never hit her. She hit me a couple times. Then they'll like cut to like him slamming her head in the wall,
Yeah.
and then she'll turn to the wall and break it. Like I love
Yeah.
that.
And then there was the one part where he said, "That's not what happened," and then it shows her chasing him out of the house with a shotgun, shooting at
That
him.
It was like this never happened.
And in the same scene, she looked at the camera and goes, "This never happened."
So it's almost like I have no idea what to believe.
It's like a lot of times self-reference in movies becomes really obnoxious because
Yeah.
it detaches you from the characters.
Right.
This did the opposite, where it drives the plot. I don't think this movie would have been half as good if they'd done it in a more traditional way
Yeah, I
or without
completely
fourth
agree.
wall
I am
breaking,
shocked
or
that
even
we
if they just did the interviews. Even if they just did the interviews but didn't have the fourth wall breaking in between them, I still wouldn't have liked it as much. And it actually like elevated the movie so much so that I don't think a better Tanya Harding movie could exist.
Yeah.
And I was worried when I saw that happen because I felt like, oh, we're gonna have to pick one of these and go with it eventually. But no, they did that a couple of times, but they still brought it back to you
Even
know,
like at the end, and I kind of like how it ends, where it's like, for like the last big chunk of the movie, it's like just Tanya, how Tanya saw everything, and then like when it ends and like she's on the ground in like the boxing ring or whatever, she's like, "This is my truth," and then she just gets back up
Great
and like
moment.
the movie ends. I'm like,
Great moment.
I'm so
mean,
surprised
yeah, I guess it is your
this didn't
truth.
get nominated for just
Best
anything
picture.
besides acting.
Yeah.
Best picture, best editing. I didn't
What
go
did
best
get
it is
nominated?
best editing.
It did get best
Yeah.
editing? Are you
Yep.
sure? I thought it was
100%.
just acting.
100%
I
positive.
believe
What
you
did
'cause I
get
was wrong
nominated
before.
for Best Picture? Because I feel like there were a couple snubs.
Darkest Hour, Get Out, Three Billboards,
Yeah.
Lady Bird, Shape of Water, Dunkirk, Call Me by Your Name.
We're missing one. 12
Two.
strong.
Did you say The Post?
Israel.
The Post.
Yeah, the post.
The Post.
Okay.
There's one more too.
Can we go off on a tangent or no?
Tangent it up.
I'm gonna tangentialize.
Tangent alert.
Okay. I'm sure that Dunkirk and The Post are incredibly well-made movies, are extremely competent, but those are stories.
Lady Bird.
And Lady Bird, yeah. But those are stories we've seen 100 times, and every single year they get nominated for Best Picture, and sometimes The King's Speech, they win. And it's like, I hate
And then
it.
The Social Network
I-
loses.
I
The
feel
Social
like-
Network was brilliant. It was so good, and The King's Speech was a movie that no one's going to ever watch again. They see it once and they think, oh,
What a
that
story.
that was fine.
I agree with that, but
like-
the post I wouldn't put in the King's Speech category.
I don't believe you. And I'm never gonna see it, so I can't make a good
Back me up,
compelling
Nate.
argument.
I'm with you. I keep saying that, but they keep saying, no, it's really good.
What I'm gonna say-
I thought it was an Oscar
What's the
bait.
Winston Churchill one?
Darkest
too?
Hour.
It's like,
Darkest
fuck, I don't care.
What I'm going to say is that there could have been 10 nominees, and there's 9. And they don't nominate I, Tanya. And they don't nominate Blade Runner.
I know Blade Runner wasn't okay. It's like
Blade Runner definitely.
Blade Runner is so interesting because it's making a sequel to a movie that was considered a classic after it was released. At first it was unpopular, it became a classic later on when people rediscovered it.
So is the same thing
and
gonna
now they're
happen to
doing
this
like
one?
a reboot to it. And it's like that's against all odds. It was
Amazing.
really good.
Yeah.
I think it was better than the original Blade Runner. Hot take. People are gonna comment. No, there's not enough viewers. But what if your grandma's like, "Fuck off"?
I
It's
love
not as
Blade
good as Runner. She's like, "Oh, fuck off."
But like the thing that I think of when I think Best Picture is every single department that worked on this movie killed it.
Yeah.
And every single department that worked on Blade Runner brought their game
so
and killed
much. It was one of the best movies of the year, and there's no conceivable reason that it should have even been good.
And
It was amazing. I went into that movie thinking, I'm gonna hate this on purpose. That's how I felt going into the movie.
So that's
what
even
the-
mutton.
That's why I went in to
That's
Call Me by
movie.
Your Name, and then I was like,
I went in with my like I like Call Me by Your Name
See,
except for
I
the gay
No,
part.
then
I
you
went
turned
in-
gay.
and now I'm dead.
And now
I
we're gay.
went into Blade Runner because I hated the first one. I couldn't get through it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was a mess. I didn't like it. And then
agree with him.
No, me neither.
I watched the new one, and I loved it. I've watched it another time, and
Yeah.
I loved it just as much the second time. I thought
Yeah.
it was phenomenal. And I agree, it should be nominated.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so that's the thing though that bothers me though, is that a movie like Blade Runner has no right to exist and has even less of a right to be good. That to me is the true stamp of quality filmmaking. A movie that you take about a real life, always fucking World War II event, or some other like slightly politically relevant, somehow historical event, like whatever the fuck The Post was about, and then you make it into a movie with Oscar-winning actors, with directors who have won Oscars already like 100 times. It's like, I do not give a shit about those movies. A movie that I go into thinking, I can't wait to absolutely hate this so that I can tell people I didn't like it even though they did, and then it wins me over. Like, that was my attitude about Blade Runner. That's my attitude about The Post, and that's my attitude about Dunkirk also. I'll admit that. But if I watched those movies, they're not going to change my opinion like Blade Runner did. I can guarantee it. Because even if I
can
think
see that.
that was good, I'm not going to think that was one of the best movies of the year. Because I already have a negative opinion because the movie exists in the first place.
Well, I think Dunkirk I'm glad that got nominated.
No one cares. No, I'm just
I don't like the idea that I'm going into a movie with expectations, and those expectations drive my experience of the movie. Like honestly, my best experiences for movies are I know nothing about this movie, I don't know who's doing what or where and when, and then it ends up being good.
I'm not saying that is what drives my experience with the movie.
Okay.
I'm saying that for a movie to so completely subvert my expectations that I actually have to swallow my pride and say that I predicted the outcome wrong is a great movie. Because I was telling people before Blade Runner came out, I'm like, there's no way it's going to be good.
The fact that it's not nominated for Best Picture is a travesty.
I know, and it's like now
really
I'm like,
is.
that is one of the best movies I've seen this year.
We went and saw, what was opening night? Did we go and see it? And there was, what, 10 people in the
I
theater?
know.
It was like the
10?
8 of us.
And I bet
Yeah,
that was
2
the
other
most
people.
packed the theater was for it. That the entire.
It was so
theatrical
disappointing.
run.
It really was.
More people should watch that.
But anyways, I, Tanya, great movie.
Captain in the Army wants to be certain that Chief Yellow Hawk gets home to Montana. Put him in chains. Understand this. When we lay our heads down out here, we're all prisoners.
Hostiles in cinemas January 5th.
Hostile.
I'll listen to this one. 'cause I
I'm
don't
just
give a
gonna
shit.
say the only thing I can say about this movie: slow burn. And then at the end, it did enough with the slow burn to let me like the movie. Like I told you guys, like there was like one scene that I was like, "Yep, it was worth it," and that's the
Was
best
it
thing
the
I can say
out in the
about it.
rain? It was like I don't feel anything anymore.
No, it was when
That was
he
me.
was.
That was my
yeah,
fault.
it was when he was talking to the chief, like when they just got to Montana, and he like talks to him as he's like dying, and he's like a part of me dies when you die or something like that, and like just that whole back and forth between two good actors, like it's such a like a small scene too. It's like a minute long, but I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess the 2-hour journey was worth it, and that's kind of how I felt. When
I think it hooked me from the beginning though with that intro. Like I wasn't expecting the kids to get shot, the baby in her arms to get shot. I was like,
Intro
well,
started off
that's
with a
the-
bang, but then it goes from the top and it just works its way down
And then
into
it
a nice
goes.
little crest and then kind of comes back up.
The internet scarred me, I guess, because during the intro, like I didn't feel anything. Like, of course the baby got shot, because then we need Rosamund Pike to be all alone so that Christian Bale can come in.
So I went into this movie with expectations. And I got them met exactly what I was
I
expecting.
had zero expectations.
I went in, I was like, this is going to be The Revenant, but just a little bit better, and that's what I got. That's what I got in my opinion, and that's what
That sounds bad.
You hated The Revenant?
I didn't watch that either.
I
I'll be honest. I don't fucking care about a movie where Leonardo DiCaprio crawls for 2 hours.
But it's the best
he
movie
meets a
ever
bear.
forged.
He meets friends with a bear.
What?
He makes friends with a bear.
Does he actually get fucked by a bear in the movie?
No,
Because
he
everybody
just-
says that
He gets
there's
fucked
a
up
bear.
by a bear in the
Yeah.
movie.
Okay, people still say that he gets raped by a bear in that movie, and I'm like, I don't think that happens.
People don't have
That bear would get best
brain
acting
cells.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, but sorry, I don't mean to. Whatever. I didn't see that.
Anyways,
either.
Hostiles, slow burn.
There's-
But if
there's-
you like westerns, you'll.
Oh, it was a
definitely
great
enjoy
western.
this.
There's not much we can say about it. It's
Yeah.
just it's a western and it's really good.
If I told you about her, what would I say? Perhaps I would just warn you about the tale of love and loss and the monster who tried to destroy it all. If I spoke about it, what would I tell you?
Rated R.
So let me talk to you guys about Shape of Water.
Okay.
How did you feel about the movie, Mike?
Well, I feel like I put it over here in this room. Or to your left. Are you taking off completely? Are you leave? Okay. I didn't like the ending.
Me neither.
I don't like the ending.
I didn't like the whole last fourth of the movie, I'll say.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
The
I may
main-
go less. I may go a fifth.
The main problem with the movie to me, and I want to know if you saw
I'm
this.
curious about this because you said there's one thing that this movie needs to do, in order to get you on board with this relationship, and that one thing did not happen. And I want to know what it all was.
No, the one thing that the movie needed to do for me to love it, because it was getting there. I was like, dude, this movie's shot gorgeously. Just the production of this movie is breathtaking.
It
Like,
was.
This is a world.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like, the monster's awesome, but to love this movie, I needed to buy into the relationship between her and the monster.
Yeah.
And I was starting to, and then they were humanizing this creature, and then they immediately dehumanize him by making he like eats the cat.
I thought that was it.
And
yeah.
then,
I thought that was
and then
it.
afterwards, it's not even him eating the cat. Afterwards, he just says, well, he is an animal, so he's just going to be an
Right,
animal. And I was
right.
like,
either that makes you an animal or that makes you a child, and either way, immediately following that with the sex scene is a
exactly.
little...
That's why I was just like, okay, I'm out. Like, I still appreciate the direction. I appreciate everything Guillermo del Toro did. He created this, like, not even fully out of his mind, because there's been plenty, like Black Lagoon, all that stuff. It's just kind of like, but the thing that I appreciated was, like, it was some sort of fairy tale, like some dark fairy tale where...
Very Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, and I was just so close to liking it. And then I almost, in my head, I was just like, no, you had me. I was buying into this. I wanted him to be like, and I get it, it's like, he's not supposed to become humanized. He's like, but then...
But they're also talking about him being a god.
But then at the same time, it's like, I can understand where you might like it, but for me, that's where I'm just like, I don't buy into this at all. I have no connection with the relationship at all anymore.
That part, I understand that part. And I feel the exact same way. I was still in, though.
Okay.
I was still into the story. I was still into everything that was happening. I was just like, okay, we're going to ride this out. But then when... At the very, very end, I hate it when this happens, when like literally the last scene of a movie just takes it away from me. But this movie did that for me. In that when her scars become gills on the end, I was like, I really didn't like that, and I really thought they should have gone with what I thought was going to happen in the dancing scene, which I actually like. And I know Tyler doesn't, or as much. But I was hoping that the god. Swamp monster, whatever he is, merman. I was hoping the merman would give her voice back.
Yeah, but I wanted that too, but then after the movie, I was like, it would have been too predictable.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's like the whole movie, it plays a lot on her being mute, and like that's the only reason why they have a connection, is because she sees him.
If we're going fairy tale, shouldn't be predictable be like what we're going for?
Yeah, but then also, can I talk about this too? Like, I get where you're coming from.
Sure.
Like, the voice thing too, I felt like I might have liked it, and like, I would 100% like it better than her getting the gills, where I was just like, but like at the same time, it's kind of like unreliable narrator. Maybe she died, and he's telling, because it's like the dude's telling the story.
Okay.
So maybe she died, and he's trying to make it.
The
he's
artist
trying to
telling
make
the
it
story, right?
Yeah, he's trying
Okay.
to make it a happy ending.
Sure.
Which that makes it better for me, where it's like, because there's no way she would have lived.
Yeah,
Anyways,
kind of like Life of Piet, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like, what are we believing here? Are we believing? Yeah.
But also, I hate when the whole time Michael's, however you say his last name,
Stolbarg.
Like his character, the way they set him up, he does an uncharacteristic thing at the end to drive the plot, and I hated it. Where he tells them where they are.
Yeah.
He's about to die. He wouldn't care. Like, it doesn't make any sense for me. When that happened, I was
He
like...
was only going to die in 10 seconds.
I was like, there's no way, dude. Like, it's... Because I was like, dude, how is Michael Shannon going to find them? They planned this out pretty well. Oh, it's just that he's
that
just
character was ruined earlier in the movie when he killed an innocent person.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
when he
I know
killed
you
the
hated
guy,
that.
the
I mean,
security
why
guard.
would you do that? Why would you ever do that?
Yeah, there's a lot. I appreciate the ave, and to be honest, it's like the front runner for Best Picture, I think. But
I don't understand. Like, I thought it was great, but like...
Cinematically, I love it.
Yeah.
Script-wise, I think there were some problems.
I think there's movies out there, Call Me By Your Name, even I, Tonya, that are way better.
I would even say that like something like Phantom Thread, I would like more, because at least in Phantom Thread, the only problem that I didn't have was like the story I just didn't connect with.
Right.
With
It was
Shape
complete.
Of,
It was a complete
With Shape of
movie.
Water, there was things other than the story that I was just like,
Right.
what is going on?
I absolutely loved the French feel with the accordion music.
That's what reminds me of
Absolutely loved
Ratatouille.
it.
actress,
Loved it, yeah.
what's her name?
Sally
Sally
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Sally Hawkins.
Paddington.
Yeah, and great in that too. Absolutely fantastic
She
in
can
that
talk
too.
in that one.
She got her voice back, and she went and made.
She had some
Paddington
really
too.
good scenes.
Yeah,
I really
she was
liked,
great. I love the whole French feel to the love story and everything going on like that. I
Richard
really
Jenkins.
thought, And I thought it was a tall task with a merman. but-
Exactly, yeah.
I liked Richard Jenkins. I thought he did. Really
I think
He was, yeah.
everything about like performances, production design, cinematography, direction, it's just, when it boils down to it,
Some script.
just script stuff
Yeah.
and just the relation. And then it still is kind of script
I
stuff.
think you should have spent more time with the two of them in the lab. Like just maybe like another.
I don't understand why they're in that lab. Why are they letting janitors into this lab with a merman?
And
to
how would
clean
they
up?
not be able to tell who when people go in there? Like, shouldn't that be a thing where she used her ID to get in there and they
Yeah,
can just
this is.
check that?
I mean, have you seen Pan's Labyrinth?
I haven't.
Fairy tale. I won't ruin it. Fairy tale, still very much set in reality. Very much. This seemed to take it to more of like a
fantastical.
Sin City or a comic book type real world thing where we're gonna break some rules.
Okay.
We're gonna break, and I didn't like that.
But like, I still think it's worth seeing. It's definitely up there with like
It's really good.
This is a movie that I think people should see, even if you're kind of weirded out by the fish stuff. Like, it's
The
not.
sex scene was a little weird, but I didn't mind it.
I didn't even think it was that weird. I was just like, okay. But maybe it's because I was prepped for it. Like, I knew that it
Like
was
when
going
she
to be
has
in
a
the
little
movie.
hand
Yeah, that hit me by surprise, and I honestly, like, right before it happened, I was like, oh no, are they gonna do what I think they're gonna do? And then they did it, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't know how to. It helped that they were bringing this movie back for because it was nominated, right? If I'd have just gone in and was expecting that, I don't think the crowd that would have been with me watching that movie would have appreciated that as much as the crowd I went with, which was like, we're gonna go see this because it's a nominated crowd.
Yeah.
And I think for that purpose alone, that's why I think The Post is a better movie than like movies like this, is because, yeah, it challenges. I mean, props for challenging people, but I don't think you pulled it off quite 100%.
I agree. All right. Who wants to close this one out?
All right. Well, this has been Movie Pass Fail. There's a lot of movies for you to go see, so you should go see some.
Next week we're gonna see. We're gonna have Maze Runner 3. I'm gonna bring my little sister on, who is a big Maze Runner fan. She's read the books, and I actually enjoy the first two. I think they're some of the best young
Another
adults out
special
there.
guest.
Yeah, I think Maze Runner is. It's people like I don't even really see people hating on it. Really, it's just kind of like young adult. Like they adapt the book fairly well, and it's kind of just like. Just a fun movie
I like
to go
how it's
see.
been the same director the entire time.
I like that too,
think
because it like feels like a complete trilogy. I
Yeah.
haven't
It's like,
seen the last
like
one,
Hunger
but
Games, how the first one's really like shaky cam, and then the rest of them.
then the
were,
second
like,
one's better, and then the
Fire.
third one's not good.
Even Harry Potter has that a little bit with like the different directors.
Yeah,
So-
because the third Harry Potter movie is the best.
I agree. I just watched
I'm not gonna get into Harry Potter with you guys. You guys can take that. I'll mediate that one. I'll have cards.
I think we're on the same page with Harry Potter.
Maze Runner 3 and 12 Strong for sure next week. And then, is there anything opening up that we're gonna go and see?
I think some movies are coming back to theaters, and I don't know if you want to touch on those. Like Get Out's coming back.
Here, you guys can talk. And
I would like to do Get Out.
Did you see it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
If Lady Bird comes out, you and me will go and see it.
Sure.
And I want you to talk about it.
And there is something opening up this week, a new one. What was it, Tyler?
Winchester.
Winchester.
Yikes.
And then Braven.
That's going to be such a hit or miss for me. I feel like either it's going to be good or it's going to be shit, and I don't think there's going to be a middle.
I
agree.
think it's going to be a fail, in my opinion. Just because like the director's the director of Jigsaw, and like.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back with some more pass and fails.
Sorry for leaving you on Jigsaw.
Yeah, really sorry about that.
I'm Mike
See you guys.
Lehman.
I'm Tyler Walker.
I'm Nate Hanman.
All right, see you next week.